We moved into the house like 10 years ago and it had solar panels on the roof. I knew they were up there, I had no idea what they were doing, and then it was a technology piece on Ireland AM and ePower were on talking about how the panels are so much more effective now than they were years ago. So they gave me a pretty good explainer in terms of what they do. Sort of from there then, that it was kind of like, I really need to do something about this. Right, CJ, thanks a million for sitting down with me. While the army of high-vis boys are upstairs, I thought I'd grab you and ask you a few questions. I've made no secret of the fact I haven't a clue, so I've got a load of questions for you. The panels were always up on my roof, but I didn't know what they were doing or what they were at. Where do I go from here?
They would only put in 4 panels at a time, so we've upgraded that system, which was more than enough to cover your usage in your house.
Most of the sunshine through the day comes at the front. There's a bunch on the back as well. Am I going to be getting use out of the ones on the back?
Oh yes, the ones at the front would be your main generation ones. They would do all the heavy lifting, and the panels at the back would be an extra little boost.
Okay, cool.
They give you that extra little generation per year. We've also installed a 5 kilowatt Libby and a 5 kilowatt battery. So this will allow you to generate your own power and store it in your house when you're not using it.
Does it matter where I put the panels? Should I be constantly looking at where the sun is and is it going to charge up my phone what I've plugged in?
So from our site visit, we design a system suiting your roof orientation and your roof design. From there we can take away which way, east, west or south. Now, that's every house is different, every roof is different, so that's where the bespoke design comes in.
We don't get an awful lot of sunshine in Ireland. How is that going to affect?
The beauty about the PV panels is they work on daylight as opposed to direct sunlight. So even in winter they're absolutely fine to generate because it's done in daylight rather than direct sunlight. And the older panels used to work on heat, you have to heat elements inside the panel, but the newer ones just work solely on daylight. So they'll work away fine. In Ireland we have what they call the perfect temperate climate, as in we don't get too hot and we don't get too cold. That's actually perfect for panels.
All right, so even no matter how cold it gets in winter or even on a very cold day, it's going to withstand that?
Absolutely. On a clear January morning, could be 2 or 3 degrees outside, but the panels will be generating pretty much as they would do in the middle of August.
Once everything is in, all of the elements between getting the wiring through and getting the panels on the roof, all the necessary kit and gear in the attic, how will I know if it's working properly?
So once the lads are finished, they'll set you up with an app. You'll be able to see everything, all your generation on your app.
So I could be playing with the app tomorrow evening?
Yes.
Awesome. I'll cancel my Netflix subscription or my Disney Plus. I'll be straight on the app. I'll be watching this the entire time instead. There's loads of Facebook groups and social media groups, mostly dads, showing off how great they're doing in terms of their consumption. Am I going to be addicted now?
Oh yes, 100%.
Well, we've gotten some serious frights. Everyone has for the last couple of years. Our bills are horrific at times. Are we going to see a knock-on effect once this is all up and running properly?
Oh, absolutely. It should reduce your electricity bill by about 60-70%, and that's over the course of the year. And obviously, as everything more and more goes electric, it'll be useful to have your own generation, so you're not relying on the grid and the fluctuation in prices from your supplier. The battery allows you to store your own electricity, so any excess you've generated during the course of the day will go straight to your battery, and that will allow you then to draw that power from the battery that you've stored from your own panels at peak rates. So for example, from 5 p.m, 6 p.m. onwards, your battery then will allow you to draw that. So that'll be all set up automatically on your app, so you're not drawing from the grid. Hopefully your battery will be charged and then you can just draw straight off the battery.
We'll be charging the battery during the day, we'll be able to use that then at peak times. Right, so it'll go to that automatically from the battery?
Yeah, so it goes to the house first, so anything being used in the house will come straight from the solar panels, and then from there it goes to the battery, and once the battery's fully charged, it'll go down the grid back to your supplier. So it's house, battery, grid.
Okay,
so it kind of works.
And it's all connected, it's in that order. Right, what about the electric charging point is connected also to the panels?
Yeah.
How does that work once it's plugged in?
It's integrated with the solar, so basically it'll go solar, house, battery, and once that battery's, it'll go car. But you can also change that, so it goes house, then straight to your car. If you, for something, need to go on a journey somewhere and you need the car to charge, then you can just turn off your battery on your app and it'll go directly to your car.
If I'm generating it and sending it back to the grid, isn't it the same use to me as selling it back as saving it in a battery, no?
No, so you're giving your excess to them free and they'll give it back to you on a feed-in tariff. So whatever you've given them, they'll give it back to you at half price.
So they're doing me a deal on what I've given them?
Yeah, and a feed-in tariff.
Okay. So once I've the app registered and set up and connected, what do I have to do? Do I need to clean them? And do I need to call the electricity company?
No, we'll have set up all that beforehand. We'd have informed ESB that you're up and generating, so we'd have done that on our end. Regarding cleaning them, we don't recommend any clean them. They're self-cleaning. With Ireland, we have a lot of rain, so any dust particles will be cleaned off by the rain. Just leave them alone, and they'll do what they're designed to do over the next 25 years.
Self-cleaning?
Self-cleaning, yeah.
I wish my kids could learn a thing or two from the panels on the roof. That'd be brilliant. Do you kind of come out and follow up and make sure everything's tickety-boo?
Yes, in about 2 to 3 weeks, we send out a member from the installations team, and they'll come and do a full checkup on the system to make sure everything's working correctly as it should be, and just to make sure you're happy with the system and it's set up perfectly for you. And if you need any changes in that, we'll be happy to do that.
Well, thanks for taking the time. I think I've asked you everything I can. I'm going to be glued to the app, and sure, if I need anything, I'll be on the phone to you at 10 o'clock tonight.
Absolutely, no problem.
See, they're up now. They look great.
Yeah, so now the lads are finished. It's getting towards evening, but your panels are up. The electrician's just turned on the power inside, so you're up and running. So if you show up your app,
right, yeah. Jesus, yeah. It is getting quite dark now, though, I suppose. So how much use am I going to get? Much acres, right?
Yeah, so you're up and running there now. You can see your panels are generating. It's going to the house, and it's also coming from your battery to your house.
So the 100% leaf. So I'm not using any. There's nothing coming from the grid at the moment.
No, nothing coming from the grid. Even though it's still overcast, you're absolutely using nothing from the grid. So it's all from your battery and your panels.
Wow. And so yeah, the bit coming, but the bulk of it is still coming from the
absolutely
from the solar panels.
You're absolutely using nothing from the grid now.
I'm dying for the sun to come out again.
Yeah, absolutely.